Hey, what is going on, guys? It's Crimson Feral. Welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we will be doing a fusion guide here. So I'm going to try to get that done as quickly as possible. A lot of this stuff is relatively straightforward, but just in case you guys were not like super clear on what some of these things do, I'll give a brief definition or like a description of what they do and if it's really that relevant to fuse it. So Emma can be very good for guild battles, has good healing and support here, can strip debuffs with strip buffs with skill 2 and then a glancing skill on skill 1. Actually decent, you can build her. But this is only for the dot team, don't build her for recreationally. I mean, yeah, you need 2 for the dot team and you need to fuse 1 more of her to get the Riley. That's all you need for Amelia. Lupinus is just bad. I can't figure her out. Of course, I don't have her skilled up, but I have her on full rage. She does okay damage. It's not top tier. I've had her on support builds with despair. She just never stuns. I don't know how it's possible for a multi-hitter to never stun in TOA. It's like her rates are turned down or something, but she just doesn't seem to do anything well. So I don't know that I'm ever going to skill her up. She might just be the 1 6-star that I kind of put it on like a podium or something as you know, the biggest failure of the account. I don't think she's very good. Vertiheal, I would build 2 of him, 1 for Trikaru and 1 for PvP content, whether it's guild or arena or even RTA. Fast on violent or swift, preferably on violent. He needs to be tanky, but if you can get a little damage, go for a little damage too. He's just not the best samurai. He doesn't have the AoE skill 3, so he's already less enticing based on that. Of course, you could maybe try to use him in guild content, but he doesn't really do anything. He's just a single target damage dealer. He gets accuracy. He just seems like a waste. These things take so many skill ups too that I would just go for a better one. I would just go for even the light one. I think the light one is single target damage as well. But the difference is that this one is... No, he attacks all enemies too. Okay, both of these attack all enemies, so these 2 are just flat out better, but the fire one for the normal elements does attack all enemies, so you could look for there, but the single target damage dealing is just not... It doesn't make any sense to build him, because it's not AoE, and he's not a tank, he's not doing any support for the team. I don't think he's that good. I know that some people made videos on him. You can go and check those out if you want to maybe see a review on it, but keep in mind that they're using really good runes, like runes that they're putting on their Lucians or whatever else to showcase this samurai. Like, they would never put some of these runes on samurais. They wouldn't waste it on them. So Harmonia, great leader skill here. Just a really good kit, strong supporting kit. She evens the HP of an enemy target with the ally with the lowest HP, and then decreases the HP of the enemy target by 15%, and recovers the HP of the ally target by 15%. So you can kill stuff with this skill without touching anything. It's not even an accuracy check. It's just flat out, this is what's going to happen. So you can just kill stuff basically for free and then get some healing off, and then this skill removes harmful effects on an ally target, recovers HP of all allies by 20%, and grants immunity for 1 turn. And this skill puts stuff to sleep, and it decreases attack bar, absorbs it. So she's actually pretty good. I see her with Vigors, I see her with Skogels, with MK Snipers, stuff like that. Just don't build this one. Yeah, just don't build this one. She's kind of like Lupinus, just bad. Kind of the same thing here. I think Kaz is just bad. Kabezanuf is only for like Katarina. I'll get into that in a minute. This one attacks all enemies and increases their skill cooldown time by 2 turns and destroys that enemy max HP. So this skill alone is pretty strong, actually. The other skills do... This one does debuffs. This one can put stuff to sleep. None of her skills will wake anything up that's asleep, so you can put her with something like a Hathor, and it could be kind of an interesting combination. Or with like the fire, Hypno, Meow, maybe just stuff that sleeps. And she's kind of weird. But I think she's actually good if you have the units to put with her. you can do some fun things, I think. Oregon, once again, is just bad. I don't know if this is a common theme with the wind stuff they put in here, if it was like intentional that they put 3 wind damage dealers in here, 4 actually, and none of them are really that useful. I would say Orang's the best, I'll get there in a second, but he's useful, but he's not that useful. I mean, nobody needs resistance in dungeons, and the other skills are basically putting debuffs on and dealing damage based on enemy debuffs, which we already have Crow. You don't have to fuse Crow, he's a lot easier to build, so I would just avoid this one. She's just not a great reviver, and that's about all you can say about her. She doesn't do a whole lot. It's like a 5-turn, I think it's a 5-turn revive, and there's not enough going on. Maybe if this skill did freezing as well, if it did an AoE attack and it could freeze stuff, then she'd be a lot more interesting looking. And could still freeze on skill 1. That'd be a much more interesting unit to look at, but she doesn't do enough. Beretta doesn't do enough either. The leader skill is great, but the kit doesn't really make any sense to even go with the leader skill. I mean, he's really only useful for TOA. I actually got all the pieces, and I just decided not to fuse him because he was not going to add anything to my TOA team, and that's the only place that you would use him anyway. Susano, I'm planning on building. I have one ready to build. He awakens with the leader skill here, so he gets 30% extra speed for water attribute monsters. He reduces the enemy crit rate by 50% when he's being attacked, and increases his own crit rate, or not his own crit rate, his own resistance by 50%. And then he gets attack bar when he's not crit on. These 2 skills do damage based on your attack speed, and they can do some pretty high damage, so I'm excited to build him and see what I can do with him. Jojo is just a bomber. If you have a Ciara and you want bombs to put with Ciara, then Jojo is your free option for bombing, but otherwise don't even waste the time. Yeah, and then Orang is basically a leader skill. She's basically just sits there and gives 40% extra attack power to your Lucian in guild content, and then Konamiya buffs up Lucian, gives him full attack bar, and then Lucian destroys everything. And you can just leave her at level 1 to do that. You don't have to do anything there. She used to be good for giants, but that's not the case anymore. Just don't build her. So just going through here once again, things you could possibly build that could be useful. Emma and Akia here can be good. And then Verd, Harmonia, and Susano, I would say, are definitely the top 3 in here. They're very good at what they do, I think. I'm hoping Susano is just fantastic. I have really high hopes for him, but I know that these 2 can do a lot of work. Okay, so into the Nat 5s here. I built and fully skilled up a Sigmarus and a Vero on this account, and I really regret putting all the skill ups into at least Veramos. He just doesn't need them. But hilariously, he's like the more useful unit throughout the game. You can use him in a lot more places once you just run out of time with Sigmarus. Because once you get a dot team and a Trikaru team, he's only useful left in Arena or guild battles. And I actually use him in Arena. This skill I use as an AoE, along with Lucian's skill. So Sigmarus goes first, freezes stuff, drops attack power, and Lucian comes in for the kill. This breaks shields too. So he's actually pretty good for that. So he's got some uses, but I don't know. I mean, even for TOA, you can freeze and do attack power down, but there's better stuff later on. So it's not bad to fuse him or Vero straight up front. Vero does cleansing. This is amazing against bomb stages in TOA, because he can cleanse the bombs. But otherwise, he can stun too, AoE skill. They both do damage based on enemy max HP, so they're great for giants early on. But skilling them up was questionable on my part. I could have like 25 Devilmon for other stuff if I just hadn't done them, but yeah, I probably just wouldn't skill them up. Fusing them is fine. I would maybe fuse a copy just to build it, see what you want to do with it, but yeah. Katarina, once again, is only going to be useful with Kabezanuf, and that's going to be in guild battles or solo R5. So there's an R5 team built around Katarina Kabezanuf. You can use that as one team. You can use a Baliger team as another team, and then the third team is like a branding team or something for the solo R5. But yeah, Anyway, these two go hand in hand. She can do massive damage if she has the invincibility on. Otherwise, she's not going to do anything. Xiang Fei is the first one in here that I would 100% build. He gets a power up to this skill. He can remove all harmful effects on all allies and gives them all continuous healing, and then puts a counterattack buff on himself. This skill does a bunch of debuffs. This skill breaks defense. Great leader skill here. Great stats here other than speed. If it was maybe like 5, 6 higher, like 100 to 104 would be a nicer range, but that's that's a pretty small thing, really. He's fantastic for getting into Rift Raid, but if you don't want to even worry about that stuff, you just want to get really high rune quality for whatever reason and not worry about grinds on your bale team, I would still get him eventually for Guild Siege for sure. Jeanne is fantastic. Great resistance leader skill. Provokes all enemies for 2 turns and instantly recovers a turn. So this can move into an invincibility and then into a stun. So she doesn't work with Katarina flat out. It doesn't work the same way that it works with Kabezanuf, because he increases the attack power and the crit rate of all allies for 2 turns and makes the designated target invincible. So there's 3 buffs going on to the Katarina, and the R5 boss is not going to strip the Katarina. When you put these two together on a defense in guild battles, I fought one today, it is so easy to control the Katarina and just kill the Katarina immediately that the invincibility never comes into play, and your only damage dealer on the team is getting fried immediately. So do not put these two together on a defense. She shouldn't be in your defense anyway, because her AI is not good. I was going to say another word, but her AI is very bad. So don't put her on defense. She's good on defense with other units though, like her with Chandra, the Water Beast Monk, and Perna, the Fire Phoenix, is a very strong team. It's tanky, it's annoying, it does damage, it controls. There's a lot of things going on that makes that team pretty annoying, but anyway, she's a great unit. Fantastic for TOA hard. I'm going to build her shortly and hopefully get a dot team together that will work, and I will be able to just do hard and not think about it. It is really annoying, TOA hard. Baliger is only useful for the dot team. He does have a guild battle leader skill. You can try him in guild battles. He could work. I mean, as long as you've got him built anyway, you could try putting him with a... What would you put him with? Trying to think. I don't know what you would... What would you put him with? Because you'd have to put him with something that will either keep him alive, like a Nana, or something super fast, like a Konamiya, with something that breaks AoE defense, but the AoE defense breaker goes first, like a Gemini almost. It'd almost have to be like a Gemini Konamiya Baliger. It'd be kind of strange looking. But you can build other stuff too. I'm just thinking about what would work consistently if going against will units and stuff that you need to decrease the defense to put the kill on. So yeah, anyway, he's really just good for BJR5. Just think about him that way. And then Riley is the most disgusting free-to-play unit in the game. Vert is very good too. Vert is very strong, but Riley is completely disgusting. She never stops healing or cleansing or putting attack power buffs on or putting immunity on, and then more healing, and the skill ups aren't even that bad. It's 11 skill ups total for 4 skills here. She awakens into resistance. Okay, so very strong there. Good HP and defense, not the highest speed, but it's fine. I don't know how... I thought she had like 120 base speed based on how fast and how frequently she's moving. It's so annoying. She's almost always on Violent when you go against her. I would recommend Violent Destroy. I wouldn't even worry about the Will, because in theory she should be alive for a lot of turns. So getting Destroy off and getting the first skill to destroy the enemy max HP a little bit is maybe worth it. But yeah, she's disgusting, completely insane. So anyway, that's all for this one. If you guys disagree, I'd love to hear What do you guys think? If anyone knows how to make her actually useful, I'd love to know. I mean, don't get enough damage out of her on Rage. I get 0 stuns out of her on Despair, which is insane. I mean, I'm just using her for TOA when I was trying her out. She's just like, I mean, she's just a leader skill. I'm hoping that I can take all of the runes off her and put like 1-star fight runes on, and that she will take the place of like the leader skill for the BJR 5 team. That's all I would fuse her for, is for fusing other units, like getting your bale, and then as a leader skill for like if you don't have a Hua to use, she can be a leader skill. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with her. She seems pretty terrible to me. But anyway, that's all for this video. As always, I appreciate that you guys came out to watch today, and I'll see everybody next time.